The year-long extension of military rule over the entire island of Mindanao is set to lapse in less than 2 months on New Year's Day of 2020. But even at this time, peace process presidential advisor and former Western Mindanao commanding officer Carlito Galvez ponders prolongation of the emergency state, but on a limited provincial coverage, as summed up by PTV's Kenneth Paciente in this report.
More than a month left before the martial law in Mindanao expires, Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. wants extended, but this time it may be enforced in selected areas only. The Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process said that they may recommend to Secretary of National Defense Delfin Lorenzana that martial law will still remain in Sulu, Lanao del Sur, and Maguindanao, where there is a presence of the terrorist group ISIS.
We will still consult din. Meron pa naman tayong time. We are consulting with the security forces. And ang OPAPP naman po kung ano po ang recommendation ng security forces at saka recommendation ng ating mga constituents, mga LGUs, doon po kami susunod po. But we agree na with some pronouncement of our ground commanders na dapat selective.
However, the former Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff reiterated that martial law can be lifted in the region if the country's anti-terrorism law or the Human Security Act will be amended, particularly the provisions that limit security forces to detain terror suspects in longer span of time. Currently, a terror suspect can be detained without warrant of arrest from a judicial court in just 3 days.
Ang recommendation po namin ng Security and Justice and Peace is magkaroon ng extension po yung time na authorized naming withheld. If the security forces believes that there is a strong indication that he is a member of a terrorist group, we will be allowed to detain him 30 days, and also the surveillance of more or less 90 days.
Martial law was declared in Mindanao in May 2017 when the Maute-terrorist group started the Marawi city siege. Galvez meanwhile emphasized that the extension of martial law in Mindanao will still be based on the recommendations of the ground forces.
We will still abide kung ano yung recommendations. Sinasabi nga namin na yung recommendation pa rin ng mga LGUs at saka mga Peace and Order Councils yung ano namin. And then kung ano yung recommendation ng armed forces. But in our view, we believe na talagang doon lang sa mga selective areas, yung contiguous area.
The Congress will still decide whether to extend martial law in Mindanao before it expires on December 31. Kenneth Paciente for The Nation.
Beyond the headlines,
it's news with a different perspective.
Before the day ends,
for events that shape our views and impacts the world around us,
we keep you up to speed.
With Richmond Cruz and Charms Espina, PTV News Headlines, your comprehensive nightly news source, only here.